Welcome back to another episode working on stuff in the garage. Today we're going to be tackling some emergency work on my 2010 Subaru Impreza. This work can kind of go for anything between 2008 to 2012 Imprezas, probably Foresters and Legacies if they're a manual transmission. Now, it's Monday today going to work. My clutch pedal was feeling kind of weird. It's actually been feeling weird for the past couple of weeks, but getting to some stop and go areas like a stoplight and actually getting into the parking lot at work, put the clutch in and the clutch stuck down to the floor. Now I don't think it's actually the clutch that's going bad. There's no grinding, there's no slipping. It's gotta be either the clutch master cylinder or the clutch slave cylinder. So when you reach underneath and you kind of feel around on the bottom of the master reservoir, there's like a snap ring underneath and a seal. There's actually a bunch of fluid underneath there, so I'm pretty sure it's the master, but we're gonna replace both of those today because they're basically right next to each other and they're relatively easy to replace. Now, there are a couple of tools that you're gonna need to do this kind of a job. You're gonna need in kind of an open wrench, but it's specifically meant for like brake line fittings or clutch fittings. You need something that's not necessarily straight open, kind of like a 14. That's just an open end. You don't want something like that for doing these kinds of lines because they're already like a half nut. So if you haven't done any work on these before or anything in your brake system or clutch system, you know, those can kind of strip out really easy. So you want something that's going to wrap completely around that or just about all the way around that nut, just so it doesn't strip out. For the master cylinder on the firewall, you're going to need a 12mm socket or a wrench, whichever you choose. I also have an extension just to be able to get down underneath in there. For your slave cylinder, you're going to need a 14mm either socket or a wrench. Then you'll need a 10mm socket or a wrench for some of the airbox components up here. You don't have to take this stuff out to do this job. I'm just going to do it, make things a little easier, get some of the clutter out of the way. You'll also need a flathead screwdriver for the clamps for any of the air intake, just to make sure things come off nice and easy. Or I believe there may be a 5/16, or I think that's like a 10 as well, but I just have a flathead. I'll give you guys a quick look at what we're talking about. We're gonna be replacing this guy right in here. The 12mm are on both sides of those. Plus there's a snap ring on the back side of the firewall or the inside of the vehicle that I'll show you in just a minute. And then that 10mm for the line comes right off this side down in here. Kind of hard to see. I'll probably try and get a light in there so you can see it better. But then the slave cylinder is right down in here, those 14mm bolts, and the line is right up in here. You'll also need a pliers for some of these pinch clamps for some random miscellaneous hoses that go into the airbox deal up here. So we'll get after this job in just a second. Now I'll show you guys what we're gonna be replacing or the new parts. I just picked up my OEM replacement parts at the local O'Reilly's. It's right down the road for me, so I don't have to go too far. Otherwise, I'd have to go all the way into town, 20-30 minute drive to some of the other parts stores. Power torque. So this is the slave cylinder. There's the part number for you guys. And then the clutch master cylinder and the part number for that as well. So we'll start off by getting basically the air box or the air intake out of here. Well, this is the air box. This can stay in place. We're going to take off this portion and this part of the air ducting as well. Start off with the flathead, loosen up these clamps. Kind of set that off to the side, just like that. Really simple, 2 clamps. We're going to take this electrical plug off of here, slip that off here, kind of tuck that off to the side as well. Now this line that's underneath here just goes from right here at this port down to the bottom of this box. So we don't have to remove this completely out of here, so don't worry about that. Now we'll take the 10mm, and loosen up this one over here. We'll leave it in there partially for right now so the stuff doesn't move around too much. There's a pinch clamp on this side, and then this hose just slides off. Kind of tuck that off to the side as well. We'll grab this pinch clamp right here, slide it down, slide that hose, kind of tuck it up out of the way. Just don't forget to put this stuff back in, otherwise it's not going to run right. Then there's going to be another clamp right down in here with the flathead, and then this 10mm bolt, and this box should kind of just shimmy off, and we can get that out of the way. So what I was talking about before, it was a little bit tricky to see because that box was on top. The slave cylinder is right here. It's pretty easy to get to. You got a 14 millimeter here and a 14 millimeter right there. And then you got a 14 millimeter up here for the clutch line to go up to the master reservoir over here. Now, before we disconnect the line off the master reservoir up here, we are going to just set this rag underneath just in case it leaks, because this has fluid in it. This will go everywhere. It can kind of eat away your paint. So make sure you get something under there either to catch it or, you know, like a rag or a container or something. There's not a lot. This is a small reservoir, so it's not gonna go like too far, but try and contain it the best you can. I said just a little bit ago, we're gonna show you the inside of the car first. We're gonna pull that cotter pin out so that the arm can come out through the firewall. We don't wanna do that when the master reservoir is just kind of like hanging out here. We want it mounted so that that pin can come out of there nice and easy, and we don't have to fight with it kind of teeter-tottering in there. Look down inside of here. The clutch pedal is all the way on the left. Most vehicles I've worked on, the clutch master connects directly to your clutch arm. However, on the Subaru, it doesn't connect up here. That's just like a linkage that goes across and over here. The pin we're looking for is actually right up in there. It's that arm right there. So we gotta take the pin off of the right side of that and then slide the pin out to the left so that the arm can be pulled through the firewall. And that's the little pin and the cotter pin that holds that lever up onto the linkage for the clutch pedal. All right, now I'm gonna loosen up the clutch line with the 10 millimeter kind of half open wrench. Slide it over the line. Make sure you got it on there nice and even. You don't want to turn that at an angle. Get this loosened up. We'll lose a little bit of the fluid onto this rag, and we'll get the master cylinder out of here in no time. Now we can grab our 12 with the extension. Reach this right through here. Loosen up them 2 bolts to get this thing out of here. Now when we go to set up the push rod, you need to make sure that it's basically identical. You want the clutch throw to be just right. You don't want it to be too much, or you'll max out your slave cylinder and your clutch isn't gonna work right, or you're just gonna completely blow out the master cylinder. So you wanna make sure you got this set correctly. So we're gonna take a measurement from the mounting point right here to about the center of the hole. We got 5 7/16. And then we'll take a measurement from in here too, just to cross-reference. We got 4 3/8. So we're gonna just loosen this one up and get this to match where it is right now. And then we'll end up tightening it up when we get it all set, or pretty dang close to what we want. All right, we got this thing all adjusted and ready to go in the car. We'll just get this in here real quick and then move on to the slave cylinder. Clutch master is in. It only took me about 10 minutes to do that job. It's not real hard or not very difficult to get that installed. Now we're gonna move on to the slave cylinder. This is even easier. It's less pieces you have to kind of play with. You just have to take the 2 bolts off and the 1 line, and it comes right off the transmission. We'll put the new one in, then we can bleed the whole system. All right, so we're gonna have the new slave ready right away so that we can take the line off and put this right onto this one. It's a soft line that comes up here, and the hard line gets mounted more in the back. This just so you can go around stuff, and it's just a flexible tube. So we're gonna take out the line first, get this right on here so that there's not a bunch of fluid leaking all over the top of the transmission and down towards the exhaust. We got a 14 millimeter for this line. Pop this off real quick. I wanna make this kind of speedy, like I said, so we don't leak fluid everywhere. It's not a real great spot to be able to put a rag under here. You don't wanna lose this bolt either. Kind of dirty, so we'll take a rag and wipe that off a little bit. We'll bleed this, so if there's any debris in that, we're gonna get it out of there basically right away anyways. Just like that. Got that line screwed back on. We'll grab the 14 millimeter wrench and just get it snug. We'll get it fully tightened once it's actually bolted down. trying to hold this with machine sharp edges. Just be careful with doing that. And we'll take off the slave right here. Nice and tight. This car's got 242,000 miles, I believe. This thing, I don't think has ever came out. Oh, definitely tight. Just like that. The old slave cylinder out of the car. This thing was also leaking some fluid there. And I just tipped that upside down and leaked that all over the intake. Don't do that. All right, now we can drop the new one right in place. Just make sure that pin goes inside the little cup for the clutch fork. Get that pressed in. Line up them bolt holes. Slap it together. All right, now that we have both master cylinder and the slave cylinder installed, now I can add brake fluid to this and get the system bled. So I'll go grab my wife and have her pump the clutch pedal inside while I open the bleeder in here and make sure all the air is out, fresh fluid in the entire system, and then we'll end up taking for a quick test drive, make sure the clutch works properly and how it should. All right, I got everything back into the car. The whole intake is back in here. Master and the slave is bled. It's kind of a little tricky to bleed because there's a bleeder down on the slave and a bleeder up on the master. So you gotta bleed the master first, then bleed the slave, and go back and forth a couple times, pump it, make sure you get all the air pressed out of there before it'll actually start building pressure on the pedal. Now we'll go take it for a quick test drive, make sure everything is functioning. If it doesn't work and it sticks down to the floor, I can still technically shift it like upshift without a clutch to get it back here. Then I'll have to figure something else out, but I'm pretty sure this solved the issue. We shouldn't have to worry about anything else. All right, so what we got here, clutch pedal, like the first 2 inches or so, maybe 1.5 inches, there's like nothing there. It's kind of light, but like it fully disengages the clutch and you're able to shift just fine. And then it re-engages the clutch and works just fine. So I'm pretty sure it's good. There might be something going on with my clutch, like the disc, potentially, to where it's like right there, it should be doing something, but it's not disengaging or engaging the clutch. It's still driving fine. You know, we're driving down the road, 3rd gear, shift into 4, no grinds or anything. It's nice and smooth. So the clutch is working. Like this morning, it was not even doing that. Like it went to the floor and there was no clutch, nothing at all. Well, I think that fixed it. I might need to do some more bleeding of the clutch master and the slave cylinder just a little bit to try and get that pedal feel a little more firm. But right now it's not grinding, it's not slipping, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, not like it was this morning, sticking to the floor. So that's gonna wrap it up for today. If you have any questions, if you're doing this job and it's not going quite as easy as you might think it would, drop a comment down below. I'll try and give you any advice that I can. Other than that, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content.